About what happened in Birmingham on Monday night? Well, according to ITV News, it didn't happen.
But I think, apologies for the language you're hearing.
So, a frightening moment there for correspondent Becky Johnson, but look what happened next. The extreme right wing, which rails against the so-called mainstream media, began using this clip in isolation to legitimise two of their arguments.
Except it wasn't in isolation, was it? It wasn't just this clip. The same mob slashed tyres.
He's gonna
Attacked people in their cars. Besieged a pub, leaving terrified occupants sheltering inside. Viciously attacked this guy because he just happened to walk outside, leaving him with a lacerated liver. But ITV News conveniently failed to include any of that.
The extreme right wing, which rails against the so-called mainstream media, began using this clip in isolation to legitimise two of their arguments. First, that the police have a so-called two-tier approach, which treats white protesters differently.
The police literally didn't even show up to try to stop any of this chaos. Oh, but there's no two-tier policing. There's no two-tier policing despite West Midlands police admitting that they left the mob to police themselves.
The vast majority of people that attended that protest yesterday did so law-abidingly, and they did it with the right intentions. What we saw was a response from our communities where they were trying to kind of make sure that that was policed within themselves as well.
A masked mob of angry young men, some of them openly armed, was allowed to gather and march up a road to attack a pub hosting a family's karaoke night with light touch policing. The officer now admits that community leaders had advised on the style of policing needed. He's essentially said, we asked them if they wanted to be policed. They said no, so we didn't police them. But there's no two-tier policing.
A so-called two-tier approach.
Machete attack killers are being released after 6 months while they empty the prisons of dangerous criminals to make room for these rioters. The killer of the little girls in Southport, Axel Radicabana, won't face trial until January next year, while people who turned up to these protests are already being sentenced. They'll have massive hissy fits over supposed misinformation fueling the riots, then demand X be suspended entirely in the UK because of it.
I think so. I think we should stop it. It's only a temporary measure in order to limit the spread of inflammatory information, misinformation as well, across the United Kingdom at this point. And I think we should focus on keeping people safe and communities safe as well.
And then get up on their flagship evening news shows and just flagrantly lie about what happened.
Using this clip in isolation.
We know what happened in Birmingham because the videos showing what happened were all over X on Monday night. That's why they want to ban it, because they don't want you to know what's going on. That's why they're going after Elon Musk, because he's totally embarrassed two-tier Kia and changed the narrative. Dead question the one approved regime narrative that must be maintained at all costs. Now they're seriously threatening to lock people up for retweets.
Members of the public should be careful when reposting material concerning the riots on social media, saying that sharing certain posts could be deemed as an offence.
The offence of incitement to racial hatred involves publishing or distributing material which is insulting or abusive, which is intended to or likely to start racial hatred. So if you retweet that, then you're republishing that, and then potentially you're committing that offence. And we do have dedicated police officers who are scouring social media. Their job is to look for this material and then follow up with identification arrests and so forth. So it's a really, really serious. People might think they're not doing anything harmful. They are. And the consequences will be visited upon them.
And the point he's trying to make is you don't necessarily need to be the creator of potentially offensive material. Even the sharing of it is now being looked at by the police.
Feels like they're more concerned about losing control of the narrative behind the riots than the actual riots. If you value what I do and you want to help support me, please visit pauljosephwatson.locals.com and either pledge a one-time donation or subscribe to join my community, get early access videos, and message me directly. And exclusive live streams coming soon too. Promise. Check out the Locals link down in the description. And don't forget to take a look at the brand new website modernity.news. That's where you'll find all my content, including exclusive articles. That's modernity.news.